Why don't cats play poker in the jungle? Too many cheetahs. Now that's a lighthearted opener, isn't it? You know what else is lighthearted? The compilation we have for you today. It's a medley of hilarious cat clips that are sure to have you rolling on the floor or at the very least purring with laughter. So, are you ready to laugh your whiskers off? Strap in and hang on to your tails, folks. Let's dive right in. Scene script. Buckle up for a joyride on the roller coaster of cat comedy. If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that cats have a knack for turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Let's take Whiskers' deep dive into the world of feline follies, where every day is Catterday. Take, for instance, our first fluffy friend. This feisty feline has decided that the laws of physics don't apply to her. Watch as she attempts to fit into a box half her size. It's like she's playing a game of Tetris and she's the L-shaped block. Who needs a physics degree when you have 9 lives, am I right? Moving on, we have a cat who seems to have mistaken his tail for a rogue string. Round and round he goes, in a dizzying display of feline determination. It's a classic case of tail chases cat. You've heard of the dog chasing its tail, but this is a whole new spin on things. Next up, we have a cat who is clearly an aspiring gymnast. Watch her perform an impromptu floor routine on the living room rug. She's flipping, she's rolling, she's... wait for it. Sticking the landing. That's a 10 out of 10 from us right there. The Olympics could use a little more of this kind of performance. And then there's the cat who thinks he's a dog. Fetching balls, wagging his tail, even barking. Or at least his best impression of it. It's like he's having an identity crisis. And it's hilariously adorable. Finally, we have a cat who's found the perfect sunbeam. She's stretched out, soaking up the rays, when suddenly she decides to chase her shadow. Because why bask in the sun when you can wrestle with your own silhouette? Cats, they're a mixed bag of quirks, eccentricities, and downright hilarity. Each one a unique character, each one capable of making us laugh out loud with their antics. Just when you think they can't get any funnier, cats always surprise us. Scene script. Ever thought about the consequences of cat comedy? Let's explore. So the thing about cats is, they're unintentionally the most hilarious creatures on Earth. They're like little furry clowns, only instead of a red nose and oversized shoes, they've got pointy ears and retractable claws. And let's face it, those claws are the real stars of the show. You see, when a cat decides to take a mad dash across the living room, there's a certain level of chaos that's just expected. It's like watching a fluffy 4-legged tornado, only instead of leaving a trail of debris, they leave a trail of knocked-over knickknacks, startled dogs, and occasionally a very surprised goldfish out of its bowl. And have you ever noticed how cats have this uncanny knack for getting themselves into the weirdest places? Like, how does a 20-pound Maine Coon end up stuck in a cereal box? Or why does your Siamese find the top of the fridge so fascinating? And don't even get me started on the kittens who think the inside of a toilet paper roll is the best hidey hole ever. But that's the thing about our feline friends, isn't it? They're just so unexpected. One minute they're all regal and aloof, the next they're hanging from the curtain rod like a furred trapeze artist. And it's this unpredictability, this cause and effect, if you will, that makes them so completely and utterly hilarious. But let's not forget the victims of these cat capers. The vases, the picture frames, the unsuspecting dogs. They're the unsung heroes of cat comedy, the innocent bystanders caught in the furry whirlwind. They didn't ask to be a part of this, they're just collateral damage. So next time your cat decides to perform a high-wire act on your bookshelf, or takes a swan dive into your laundry basket, remember to laugh. Because yes, they might knock over a vase or send your favorite mug flying, but in the end, it's worth it for the comedy. After all, as the saying goes, it's all fun and games until someone knocks over a vase. Timing is everything, especially in comedy. These cats have it down to a science. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if cats ruled the comedy world? Well, wonder no more. Because these felines are delivering laughs with the precision of a Swiss watch. Let's dive into the world of perfect timing. Picture this. A cat, eyes wide as saucers, creeping ever so slowly towards an unsuspecting toy mouse. Just when you think it's about to pounce, it stops, looks straight at the camera, and makes the funniest face you've ever seen. It's like the cat knew exactly when to pause for maximum comedic effect. It's not just a cat, it's a comedian in fur. And then there are those cats who have mastered the art of the perfectly timed leap. One moment they're casually lounging on the sofa, the next they're soaring through the air, paws outstretched, in a graceful yet hilarious ballet of feline agility. It's as if they've rehearsed their routine 100 times. waiting for the right moment to perform their sky-high acrobatics. But the comedy doesn't stop there. Some of these cats are not just solo performers but also excel in comic duos. Their human companions become unwitting straight men to their feline jesters. One moment, the human is going about their day. The next, they're part of a slapstick routine that would make even the sternest of faces crack a smile. The cats always seem to know just when to pounce, when to purr, and when to pull a face that sends their human companions into fits of laughter. These cats are not just pets, they're comedy geniuses. They've mastered the art of comedic timing, using their uncanny ability to predict and react to the world around them to deliver laughs on cue. They're the furry jesters of the animal kingdom, and we are their adoring audience. So the next time you're feeling blue, just remember, somewhere out there, a cat is timing its next hilarious antic perfectly, ready to bring a smile to your face. Who knew cats were comedic timing geniuses? Sometimes the funniest moments are the most catastrophic ones. And we're not just talking about a cat stuck up a tree. Oh no, we're diving into the realm of feline follies that leave us in stitches, even as we rush to help our furry friends. Picture this, a cat, in all its regal glory, perched precariously on the edge of a shelf. It's eyeing a toy mouse, the tail twitching with anticipation. You can almost hear the Jaws theme playing in the background. And then, whoops, down goes the cat, the mouse, and probably a vase or two. Don't worry though, no cats or vases were harmed in the making of this comedy. Or how about the classic cat-in-a-box scenario? There's something irresistibly funny about a full-grown feline trying to squeeze into a tiny cardboard box. It's a bit like watching a very fluffy contortionist, only with more flailing and less grace. And just when you think they've finally given up, they somehow manage to fit, only to realize they can't get out. And let's not forget the cats who have a knack for turning everyday objects into their own personal disaster zones. A roll of toilet paper becomes a snowstorm of white fluff, a pair of glasses turns into a high-speed sled, and a simple ball of yarn transforms into an inescapable trap. It's like living with a tiny, fur-covered agent of chaos. But that's the beauty of cats, isn't it? Even in their most catastrophic moments, they manage to make us laugh. They remind us that life doesn't always go as planned, that sometimes you end up stuck in a box or tumbling off a shelf. But as long as you can find the humor in it, it's not truly a disaster. So the next time you find your cat in a funny predicament, don't forget to laugh. After all, they're probably doing it just to entertain you. And remember, it's not a catastrophe if you can laugh about it. Let's wrap up with some of the funniest cat clips that'll have you meowing with laughter. We're about to take a fur-tastic journey down memory lane, revisiting those moments that made us chortle, giggle, and snort. First up, we have the feline who thought it was a gymnast, remember? Performing a perfect somersault off the couch, only to land in the laundry basket. Talk about a tumble dry. Then there was the tabby who mistook a cucumber for a snake. Oh, the leap of fright. It's safe to say that cucumber certainly didn't make the cut for lunch. Who can forget the fluffed-up Persian who found itself stuck in a box? It was a classic cat-in-a-box situation. The struggle was real, but the laughter was even more so. We also had that cheeky Siamese playing peekaboo with the camera. The old, now you see me, now you don't trick never gets old, especially when it's a cat pulling the disappearing act. And let's not forget the adventurous Calico, who attempted to scale the curtains. It was a cliffhanger, quite literally. Each of these moments, as hilarious as they were, only reaffirmed one thing. Cats are the epitome of comedy. They're the jesters in the court of life, always ready to bring a smile to our faces. And that's it for today's Feline Funnies, folks. Remember, laughter is just a cat video away.